Professor of Accounting from the Sri Gunawardena University, so homegrown. And his name, of course, is Professor Kennedy Gunawardena. Good morning to you, Professor.
Good morning. Very good morning to you.
Professor, I'd like to ask you, because your background is accounting, why should the public, namely the EPF, why should the EPF members pay for the poor investment strategies, politically driven probably by the politicians of the past? No particular one, but all the politicians who've been in power. Why should the people pay for those mistakes?
Look, that's very sad situation. I think that's the very poor conditions. Who obtained the debt? Debts obtained by the previous government or before the previous government. But finally, who used the debt for certain projects, certain development. But unfortunately, they can't get the required return. And finally, because of the corruptions and many activities, they couldn't pay the entire debts. Then what will happen? What was happened last few days back. Actually, the sad thing is, that is what I said, this injustice. They were the people who are responsible. They are the people who are liable today. And their money, the monthly income or some percentage of their earnings, they contribute to the EPF. And EPF is the largest fund in our country. This including around 3.5 trillions. Right, the huge money. And they're the people who manage in the funds, and at the age of the retirement, you get your deposits money as well as some interest. Now they have reduced that interest to the 9%, because the reason, I think, they have obtained the more government treasury bonds. 3 trillion treasury bonds out of 9 trillion treasury bonds they have obtained from the government, right? Then government very easily and simply, rather than touching any other areas, they have reduced their 9%. They reduced to 9% at the moment. Further, in the maybe later stage also, for their deposits, you are getting low interest rate at the end of the end of the day when you go to retirement. This is the simple structure of this. In other things, usually EPF fund managers, they maintaining yield rate around 13 to 14%. Now that reduced to the 9%. That means they also lost. And another 20% coupon interest rates bonds are available. That means 6 trillion available other than the EPF holders, EPF organizations, right? That they have a 20%. People who bought that bonds, they have a 20% of people. Our working crowd people, they have only 9% interest rate. That is also very, very unfair. That means if you invest, say, EPF holder like you and me, for 1,000 rupees invested, 1,000 rupees deposits, we got 90 at the end of the year. But outside people who invest the treasury bonds for 1,000 rupees, they got 200 rupees at the end of the year. Now, you can see, unfortunately,
Can I ask you, how many EPF members are there?
Active members, I think 2.4, but already 20 million, I think 20 million total population. I think the more than total population. Yes, 20 million. Yeah, I have the figures here. 2.4 million active accounts we have, and total members are 24 million. 20.4 million.
These 2.4 million active members, yes. They're alive, they're suffering. And don't you think that when it comes to voting, those 2.4 million people will know how to vote?
That is a different story, because in Sri Lanka, honestly speaking, I'm a professor of accounting, our financial literacies are very low. I think that is a duty you and me to enhance their financial literacy. You remember a long time back, people who deposit the money into the certain Mudalalis places also finally end up with nothing. Some casino people deposit the money. Financial literacies are very low. And they feel that at the retirement age, they get money. There is no issue about the getting of money.
That when people are suffering, and the only way they can maybe change the system is by using their vote. Don't you think that people will think twice? Especially now when money is so bad?
Still, I don't believe that, because they know the money is safe. If you retire today, you can get money, no problem. Even the whole entire 3.5 trillion, the entire money freeze by the EPF government, no problem, because they every month they get more money and very less money only they have to pay for the retirement fund. Therefore, they are safe. Our people are safe. Then they know that I deposit money, government organization also some part, and my salary is also some part. At the end of the day, I get some my money and little bit of interest. That's enough. I don't think our Sri Lankans people are highly worried about the portfolio management benefits. 30, 40 years, EPF is running. Anybody else claim, I'm asking from that, you are not fund, you are not giving benefits from us, you get more money from us. At the end of the day, retirement age, I get my money without any issues. I get some interest also for that fund. That's all. There are so many benefits they can get. Just compare with the ETF and EPF. ETF, there are certain benefits are given. That's what I said. There's nothing affected the voting system. Voting system is something different from India.
Thank you very much, Professor Kennedy Gunawardena, for being on the Talk of the Town. It's now back to Dom and Asanka on the Morning Fakes.